I am woman phenomenally. Phenomenal woman? That's me, Maya Angelou. Welcome to this segment of the Afrocentrist podcast, The Woman, Her Story, and Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from across the globe, sharing their stories and how they are impacting their world. Coming to you every Wednesday, 4 p.m. GST. Of course, with your favorite show host, the energetic EJ. So make it a date with me every Wednesday. The Afrocentrist Podcast, proudly African. Hi, and welcome to today's episode of the Afrocentrist Podcast, especially this segment, The Woman, Her Story, Her Impact, where I get to speak to women from across the world, from different spheres of life, telling their stories and how they are currently impacting their world. I am your host, the energetic EJ. And today on the show, I have a fellow media woman in the house. Like, this one, she's my senior colleague, so to say. All right. She is a media personality, a TV presenter, a news reporter, and all the way from Nigeria, but now she's here in the UAE and she's doing us proud. And I'm like, hey, who else should share their story on this platform, if not for Mayowa Adegoke? So today, I have Mayowa Adegoke with me, and she's going to be telling us a bit of her story, because of course her story is very big, right? Very large. But she's going to tell us the part of it that inspires you and how she's currently impacting our world. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or a bottle of water if that is what works for you, and let's meet Mayowa Adegoke.
I'm literally like grinning so much from ear to ear, and I think my head is hurting from smiling so much.
So good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Finally.
I know. It's taking a while to get here, but finally we're here.
We are here. So good to have you here, Mayowa. Like, you're one of those people who I just look at and I'm like, yes, she's doing it. She's representing us, not just as women, but as Nigerian and as African women, especially even in diaspora. Like, you inspire me. Well done. Well done with all the marvelous work you're doing out there. I just love your style of, what I call it simplicity. And, when the part of you that just kind of attracts me the most is when you just show us that your goofy parts. Like, seriously.
What you see is what you get. Honestly.
Like, guys, you should binge on Mayowa's story on Instagram. Gosh, you would love it. You would love it. Her story it's just a TV station on its own. She's so good with what she does. Like, I'm learning from her. So good to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
So, now, I have this tradition of asking my guests, introduce yourself in the way that you would. You have your profile. Mm-hmm. Oh, she's this, she's that, and all of that. But if I say, who is Mayowa Adegoke, how would you describe you?
That's a little tough. How I would describe me, and not just like
not the packaged
the packaged one. Well, it's also difficult because I'm someone who's very real, I believe. I know that the media often projects media women as a certain way. You always have to be TV ready, picture ready. But I like to be out of that. I just like to represent myself as myself. I'm a normal human being. I like to call myself the girl next door, and who happens to be on TV. So in reality, people would see me on TV. My next door neighbor would see me when I don't have makeup on, when I'm just having a bad day. And because that's who I am. I also don't try to put myself in that box of always looking a certain way. I mean, if it works for other people,
fine.
Oh, well and good. For me, no thank you. So to describe myself, I think I already mentioned one part is I'm really just that girl next door who happens to have this career that's out there. But also beyond just that simple person that I really am, I'm also very driven, very ambitious. I have very, very high ambitions for my life, for my community, for what I would do. I'm not the person who's just going to come and just go. I'm going to come and you are going to know that Mayowa was here. That's who Mayowa is.
I love it. I love it. And I love it. Love it. Okay. I know your name online is the Lady Mayowa. What birthed that?
My husband, actually. So yeah, when we were dating, I think I really can't even remember maybe the first time he called me that, but I know that he called me. He was the one who started calling me Lady May.
Oh.
Lady May. And then when I was still in Lagos, I mean, I was already engaged. We were already planning the wedding, and I knew that there would be like a name change. But I was concerned for my social media. So my social media at the time, I think I had different names for a few platforms. So some platforms had the same name. It used to be Oluwa Mayowa with OH as a start.
Oh, okay.
And then I think one other platform had a different name. So I was looking to have all my social media have the same name. I was also didn't want to change from like Mayowa Adegoke to Mayowa Adegoke. I wanted a name that was...
It's a brand.
Yes, it's not about your father's surname or your husband's surname. It's your name and it will always be yours all through life. So a friend of mine, Benga Awomodu, brilliant friend of mine, we were just talking about it, and I think he actually came up with, like this, the Lady Mayowa, I'm gonna just use that, and I think that's how
the name came about.
Yeah, and when I obviously moved to Dubai, and then my work began to gain a lot of attention, the name caught on. Yes. So now it's the Lady Mayowa. And I think it also is me, really. Beyond.
Absolutely.
So yeah, pretty much. That's the story.
Absolutely. And I love that you had the time to think about that. At the brink of, getting married and saying, ooh, okay, there's going to be a change of name here. I don't want people confusing or just like,
Yeah.
And that's so good. Like, I'll just plug this in here for ladies. When you are yet to marry and you're already building your... I feel like it's good to start to know yourself and get into your space before you marry.
Don't think.
That is it.
You must know yourself. It is so important. Whether you be a man
or a woman.
It is so vital to, how we proceed in life. Even how well you do in your marriage. You have a lot of people who are consumed with the idea of marriage.
Yes.
Their identity is marriage.
Yes.
That shouldn't be. You are a full person. You are married to another individual, and together you both move on in life. If you don't know what you want for your life, and you're hoping that when you marry, you will just magically know. That's not how it works.
It's an error. It's I'm seriously, and I'm telling you from my own, like personally, I didn't start to build my personal brand. I had an idea of what I wanted to do and all of that, but I didn't start to build the brand until I got married.
Which is still fine.
It's fine.
Because building a brand is also slightly different from your identity.
Yes.
Knowing
absolutely.
Yourself. Even without having a brand, a public persona,
absolutely.
Company.
Yes.
Just knowing who you are, knowing what you stand for, knowing what you want to achieve in life, knowing what you like, what you don't like, knowing
very important.
What you would take and what you wouldn't. Just knowing yourself. This is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Take it.
Or leave it.
That's where it starts from.
Absolutely.
Now building a brand is going to be hinged on already knowing
who you are. Yes.
You're not going to see me online twerking and doing the most, being I can be ratchet in my private space, but you're not going to see that online. That's not me. That's not for the public.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I do show a bit of my goofy, funny,
but sensibly
in a very dignified and manner. So I'm not So it's all part of it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The reason I even said that is like when I was even referring to like you know yourself, but sometimes you're just so afraid of stepping out of that, to just come out there, and then you like need that. Oh, maybe when I do this now, hey, now I have arrived. Let us do it.
If I may be honest, I even till now I still experience that stepping out because there was a time in my career where I felt like, wow, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve to a certain degree. I wanted to work at the best TV in Nigeria. I wanted to be on TV with this company, and I'd done that, right? I was on TV, I was known,
like,
I was rubbing shoulders with celebrities. Like, it's like, okay.
What next?
What next? So, and I think that growth would always come with those birth pangs, those, can I do this? Like, putting yourself out there. It is a process that you must always just ask yourself, do I want to stay hidden in the shadow of my former glory? Do I want to stay hidden in my fear? Or do I just want to go out there
and be all that
and just do it? And just do it. The worst thing is you would fail at that, and if you know that failure is really just
learning, feedback,
the rehearsal for success, really. So I still do in certain ways, and I know that if you followed me from the time I was new in Dubai to now, you would see a change.
There's been an evolving.
I just launched a YouTube channel. That also took some kind of.
Do we want to do it? Do we?
Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please like. That is not. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That also came with a bit of. But I'm at a place where I know that Mayowa, you just have to do it. You just have to go for it.
Absolutely. Like we're already in her story. She is a go-getter. Like you can get that already. So tell us, what has your journey been like, especially the transitioning for you from Nigeria to the UAE? You've been in the UAE now, it's just like counting 3 years, going to 3 years. And Mama, hey, when I see this one, I'm like, hey,
glory
God,
must be to the Lord. And honestly, that is my story. Honestly, I cannot take any credit for the greater success. I mean, I'm awesome. I love my work. It shines through. I'm great at what I do. And I've got it. I cannot even deny myself that. I own it with my full chest. But aside from all of that, I also know that there's really a huge God factor at work. And my story, the success that you see in the UAE right now, is really just about going where God has led you. That is the recipe behind it. God showed me, this is the man you're going to marry. It was obvious he was based, still is, in Dubai. I've got a great career back in Lagos. I'm on TV, I'm doing well, I'm, going high. And it's like, this guy is in Dubai. God knows I'm a lover girl. I'm going to carry my bag.
I'm back and follow my love.
This man. And it's like, God, I love my work. But obviously you've given me a man as well. I know that you're not going to take away my career just because you're giving me marriage. So it's like, and this was the confidence. I'm going where God is taking me. I know God will sort me out.
Wow.
That really is the confidence with which I came. And everything you see is really just about God's hand being on this. So even at times when I get scared, there are times when I get scared about my work. I get scared about my life. I'm like, okay, are we going to be here forever? Are we going to be here for a while? When I leave here, what will happen? Would I have to start all over again? All of that. This is what gives me confidence. Mayowa, this is not your story. It's not your doing.
So
it's not your doing. So there's no need to be scared. The person who brought you this far can take you anywhere, can take you farther. So that really is what I'm moving on. And everything you see, I tell you, everything you see, because when I came here, there was nobody to show me the ropes.
True, because like the story was even different for everybody.
There was nobody.
The narrative was different. Like Nigeria.
Do you understand? There was nobody to say, "My, this is how you do it. This is how you do it." Today you hear about channels, TV channels. There was nobody to show me. So everything you see is really God's inspiration, pushing me and creating. That's what you see.
Did you have to, when you were leaving, like did you did you fear, or what was it like
There
for
was
your
no
company?
fear.
For your company, for example, for the media house, right? Because like, okay, they don't have a station here. They don't
True.
have a reporter here. What was that thing that gave them that, like, okay, Mayowa, oh yeah, go and represent us?
So coupled with the fact, coupled with what I already mentioned, that this is just a God-backed venture. I feel like, not that I feel, I know that I had planted good seeds in Lagos. I gave Lagos everything.
110%.
Everything. There was nothing left to give. There was no I gave 90 and I kept 10.
10.
I gave everything, and the management always saw that. And they pretty much, I think that instilled confidence and trust. And they said, okay, you know what? This person can do what she's saying she wants to do.
Wow. So you prayed out to them that, you know what, I'm going there.
Yeah.
Let me just represent you. Wow. And the whole, like, Channels television, guys, is like the CNN of Africa.
Tell
and
them.
for them to just say, this one person, like, she didn't come with a team. She didn't have a team that was working with her on ground. They just said, you know what? If you say you can do it, see, this is the lesson here. And you already know that. See, sharing the stories of women and whatever content I share on the Afrocentrist podcast, the aim is for personal development and your growth, right? So this is a lesson right here. Whatever, oh my God, whatever you find your hands to do, do it well. I remember just, making a blog post with that topic recently. Whatever you find your hands doing, like even if you are the janitor in your company, do it so well that when you are leaving, they'll be thinking of, maybe we should have a branch of our company where you are going, because you're so good.
Yeah.
Wow. And since you've been here, what has the journey been? Like, tell our people, like, what's Dubai like? What's media in Dubai like for you?
It's interesting. It's definitely very different from
Back home.
what it's like back home. There are opportunities. There are opportunities. It's not as structured as you would find back home. So there are opportunities. There's room for a new player to always come in. So you have to come in with an open mind. You have to come in, and this is one important thing. You have to come in not thinking, how do I say this? I want to be careful how I couch it. Come in with a fresh mind. Come in thinking of, I want to start over, but not forgetting what you've done. I could easily come and say, Mayowa, known in Nigeria. Come on, I've interviewed the VP. Do you understand? You can easily come and say,
I'm over.
From Nigeria.
Do you know who I am?
You understand? And you come here, it's like,
hello.
Ain't nobody know you.
Who you who?
Like, who are you? Some people don't even know your country, maybe. I'm just kidding, of course. There's somebody that doesn't know Nigeria in this world.
You are not in the world.
Hello. But a lot of people, this is Dubai, it's a whole new world.
Absolutely.
The same way back in Nigeria, nobody will know a Dubai One, Emirates TV, Loving Dubai.
Only NBC, Sha, because we've been watching NBC since 19 Bogboro.
And even, how many people know that they are from
here? Absolutely, that's true. Okay, you're right.
Do you see where I'm going? So if in Nigeria, so imagine Chris Fade will come from and say, it's like, hello,
who you?
Take the back bench.
Yeah.
Same way. So you have to come here humble. You have to come humble, but not forgetting the value that you bring. And I think that if there's one lesson that my story will teach anyone, is that whatever values are universal. Values do not have a location. Values do not have they don't have a nationality, and they don't have a color. Values are global. You will take your skills, you take your value, you take them anywhere, and they will be appreciated. Values don't have a nationality. There's no African value or European value.
That is so deep.
Value.
That is like tweetable right there. Value has no color. It has no nationality.
Yeah.
So you better put on your value game. Like, wow.
So that's it for me. Just understanding what I bring to the table, knowing that, see, you just need to put me in that place. Don't forget, you will know that I was here. So when you come in with that mindset, you need to have a very healthy self-esteem, no matter where you go.
So true.
Because when we're in strange places, it might be easy to shrink and feel small and feel like the outsider. You must have a very healthy sense of self-esteem.
Yes.
I know that. Come on.
I carry something.
I carry something.
I carry something, and that something is worth learning, is worth knowing. Seriously, I thank you for sharing this, because I came in that route like I shrunk. I absolutely shrunk when I came to this town. Like, oh my God, who am I? Better shut up and just, there's a difference between shutting up and saying, let me learn what's going on here. Right? And silencing it, like, you better shut up. Who will listen to you? Who knows you? But over time, I'm just grateful to God for, how the journey has now evolved, and like, hey girl, you better come out of that shell and be all that God has designed you to be. There is a reason God has placed you here, because the most beautiful thing, as far as I'm concerned, about UAE is the location.
Yes.
It's the fact that it's in the middle. It's really literally the middle. It's the middle, right? Like, and so there are too many opportunities, but like you said, if you do not know and appreciate the value that you carry, you're going to get lost in the whole mix.
Yeah.
So how are you now currently impacting your world? It goes without saying, but like, maybe there's some that we are seeing, but you have some other, message to back up how you want to really impact your world. How are you impacting your world now?
How I'm impacting my world, I think it's in two ways, mainly. One is just being the best of myself. There's this popular saying, and I think Nigerians will relate more with this, that, somebody's destiny is tied to yours. Somebody is waiting to bloom, but it's dependent in a sense on you. And that's how God made humans. We're not made in isolation.
Absolutely.
We are all
connected,
regardless of the ethnicity or religion. Like, your life is an inspiration to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Right? And sometimes we always think of doing the big things, or you only matter when you've done the big things. That's a lie.
Big one.
Even in the little things, I used this example many years ago, and it resonated with a lot of people who follow me online, that I'm a Christian, so I'm going to talk about Jesus Christ. If Mary, the mother of Jesus, was insistent on being the savior of the world, how would Jesus have come? Somebody needed to play, quote and unquote, a lesser role for a bigger role to come into play.
Same with John the Baptist.
So let's not be too obsessed with the big things that we do. The seemingly little things that we do, they also have great value and they have a place. Some great things will never happen if little things did not happen. So how you would interpret that for your life, that's for you to figure out. So I think just being the best of myself is a start. If for nobody else, for my child and children that I will eventually have, being the best of myself, shining my own light, would be an example for them to say, be you, go for it, do your thing. He's going to be amazing. He doesn't have a choice because there's an example. He's not going to learn being timid in that, terrible sense.
And fake humility.
No. We're not going to learn that. We're going to learn real humility. We're going to learn appreciation for what we carry. So that's my sincere belief, that just being the best of myself, and I think even my career and my success here would be an inspiration for someone. If Mayowa can do it, it can be done. I can do it too. So that's one. Secondly would be just my work in itself, being able to tell people stories, being able to shine the light on the positives about Nigerians, about Africans, being able to connect Nigeria and Dubai, because really, if in Nigeria, Channels TV is the only one that has representation in Dubai. And there's a lot of footwork between those, Dubai, the UAE and Nigeria, being that connecting person. That's a huge thing.
It is.
So being the only Nigerian and maybe even African reporter really covering the expo, it might just sound like words now, but I always think about 50 years down the line, 100 years down the line, someone's going to write and say that
Guinness Book.
Dubai Expo 2020 Nigerian reporter. That's how we think.
We don't think the now.
No. Always.
That is
always,
so deep. Like,
always. Because what we do today, really, if you want to influence your tomorrow, today is when you do it. Today is when you... Everything I've ever done, every decision, everything is up. I have an image of Mayowa in the future. And I build her from today.
just so beautiful. Like, I feel like if we sit down here and keep talking,
Yeah, we will talk.
we will talk for a long time. But Mayowa has dropped so many gems that you can take away with and sit down, especially if you're looking at her. And even me, I know I'm a shadow version of her coming up, but like I still know, even at my level, you know, I still know people like, oh, Kiju, I wish I could. But look at her, I'm like, wow. So please take everything you've learned, we've heard today, sit with it, and then form your own image of what you want. Remember the God factor? Like, that is non-negotiable. You should. You must consider that. Otherwise, every other thing is going to be like building a house on a sand. And when the wind comes, it's all gone, right? So the God factor is there. Remember that. And just keep being you. Show up as you. So there is no other you in the whole universe. Like, think about it. How many are we now in the universe? 9 billion.
I think 7.
7 billion people. And there is no one exactly like you. Please, why not show up? Show up as yourself. Be you. Look at Mayowa here. She is herself and she's putting her foot forward like, this is me. And you know, the God factor again comes back into play. So guys, I hope that you've been inspired by today's story. I have been inspired. Now, I know, like, this little thing that you see going on here, the Afrocentrist podcast, this is how I am currently impacting my world, and I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to keep showing up, keep sharing the amazing story of amazing women. I kid you not, these stories, they have what they do for me, right? Even as I share to you, they have what they do for me. Like, it builds me.
And do you know that there are people's lives you're impacting without knowing? There are many lives you're impacting without knowing. They just might see, like, the possibilities are endless. It's so important to show. Sometimes we want to know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to know. Sometimes do you know how, you know, some films come out or stories come out and then they connect dots in the past, and then they begin to, sometimes we're not meant to know. Just play your part in the bigger picture
And just move on.
and just and honestly, that's how there are many things I forget. My husband always teases me because I just do it.
We're done.
And keep moving. You don't sit down in the past and no. Keep, because you're light. You just keep emitting.
Energy.
Just keep going. Knowing that you just give energy, you give light as you go. So don't, oh yeah, I gave 20 watts yesterday. I gave 50 or I gave 500. Keep giving every day. Because it's light.
And it's infinite.
Yeah, just keep giving.
Guys, it's been amazing. Like, look at me smiling. Like, I feel like I can just sit there and just be talking. I will not get tired. Thank you so much for watching or listening to today's episode. Like, come your way again next week with another story, another woman sharing their story and how they are currently impacting their world. You go impact your world positively, because what? You count. You matter. So keep learning, keep growing, so you can keep living. I'll see you next time. Bye.